In this video I meet up with John, the flying reporter, and I fly him into Nayland so he can experience the hill for himself.
So is it a bit of a cliff edge moment when you see edge to that?
No, not really. I mean, generally speaking, most of the time, the hill falls away and we keep straight.
That was quite cliff edge. That's crazy.
I'm on this very, very short flight in order to meet up with John, the flying reporter. I've been following his channel for a long time, very impressed with the work he's been doing, and see what he thinks of grassroots flying. Oscar Radio, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel.
I was just talking about you, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel. Good morning.
Good morning. We're inbound on that international flight we were talking about. I've got about 5 miles to run.
Sure, it's 24 with the left-hand circuit. The QNH is 1026, the QFE 1018.
Golf Echo Hotel flight.
Golf Echo Hotel, Roger 32012 knots.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, it was good.
What a beautiful day.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah. Have you been looking at this machine thinking, have I really got to fly in that?
No, I've been thinking of how narrow this runway is and whether I'd manage it in the crosswind.
Yeah.
Did you have a good flight?
It was lovely. Yeah, really nice today.
Then you have an interesting holiday to somewhere else.
That's right.
He's not 100% sure about the next bit.
Should be fine.
£1 of landing fee there.
We'll be away for a little bit and then...
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
We're pro.
You hear me?
Yep, and have you got me okay?
Yep.
Every so often, if I run out of hands and I ask for automatic braking, then he just gives us a tug.
Okay.
Alright, I don't know whether you've seen this in some of the videos, but John does automatic braking for me. Misting up a bit, so that's my demister. Oscar Radio, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel, radio check and taxi return to Nayland, please.
Radio, your readability 5, the runway news 24, left-hand circuit, the QNH 1026.
I was a bit jealous when I left Biggin Hill, someone was off to Alderney.
Oh, very nice.
Perfect day for it, isn't it?
I used to fly in here when it was nothing more than a grass strip in the middle of a ploughed field. You don't mind doing the automatic brake for me, please? Okay, that's fine, thanks. Golf Echo Hotel is ready for departure.
Golf Echo Hotel, Roger, 7 indicating 320 degrees, 7 knots.
Okay, you happy?
Yep.
we're concerned, I mean, I won't go straight back, but when I turn into a downwind position, in the distance there's a church just below the horizon. That's Stoke by Nayland, which is one of our pointers. So I mean, I can see the strip from here, so...
Yeah. Should you have any amps, or is that...
that one's dead.
Oh,
the amps comes on.
Oh, very clever.
Yeah, everything comes through there.
That's clever.
Are you happy to have a little fly around? You want to have a look at the area, a little bit of background?
You might as well get some flying in.
I mean, the whole point is, if I go back to the strip, we're about 3 minutes away. Well, I don't know what you feel, but when I'm flying around, I can't help thinking back to the wartime, when this whole area was totally covered with airfields, and there would have been aircraft doing all sorts of different things. I mean, Wormingford here was, I think it was an American fighter base. The water there, which is Abberton Reservoir, was one of the early dams that the dam busters worked on.
Oh, really?
Because of the shape, they were able to have some of their basic practice there, because it didn't have the hills around it. Then you've got Birch, where the fire is.
Yeah.
That's another disused airfield. I mean, it doesn't exist at the moment. And then not too far over there, the other side of the water, you've got Bradwell, where the power station is. That was RAF Bradwell, and I believe I'm right in saying that as far as the history of that one was concerned, it was the only fighter base, certainly on the east of the country, the only fighter base that had the FIDO, you know, the fog dispersant system. They had it in a number of the bomber fields, but none of the fighter fields. Is it sort of initially how you expected it to be?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you look in the back, there is a fair amount of space.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of leg room, which is why I think they probably talk about it being, you know, for children.
Oh, I see, yeah. But how long have you owned this?
I've had this one for 3 years now. When I picked it up, there was lots that needed to be worked on, but because I just retired, I had a lot of time to sort of play with it. But we have had a good year in terms of places we've gone to.
Yeah, you've really stretched your legs, haven't you?
Yeah, that reservoir, the Ardley Reservoir, has got 2 prongs to it.
Yeah.
One prong points directly to Nayland, so you can use that as a marker. And I mean, basically, when I first started flying, we didn't have any of these aids to help us. So it was literally, you know, all the different bits and pieces you could pick up from different people. This is Oxted. You can see the perimeter of the old airfield. And this was, I believe it was an American fighter base.
Is it still marked on the map as a disused area? Oh yeah, Oxted, yeah.
Yeah, they do a fly-in, but it's again quite a small strip. You can actually see it there running beside the hedge.
I mean, there are 3 big differences between the flying you do and the flying I do. Firstly, financially, you're on a permit here, which means what? You can do pretty much anything you want.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, everything I do has to be checked by John or your engineer. And if you're, depending on the sort of character you are, some people will go ahead and do it and then check, but I would always ask first and say, look, I think I need to do this. What do you think about it? What's the best thing to use? How to do it?
Yeah.
And then I have to produce a worksheet, which includes all of the batch numbers and everything I use. And then John then signs it off.
And how often do you have to? Is it an annual thing?
That's an annual thing.
Yeah.
Basically, everything we do is on condition. So, you know, I put a relatively new engine in this. Well, with John's help. What I do on my channel is I just cover what we're doing. If I'm doing engineering work, then I put that on. It's difficult to know what people want and how people. So I only started it so that I could record what I was doing, and it was one of those typical things that I wanted to find out what I was doing. It's when you're sitting and you're watching it of an evening, you think, oh blimey, what on earth do you do that for? Get your tongue sorted out. Why can't you make a proper radio call and all those sort of things?
Yeah.
So we've got Ipswich over there, we've got Felixstowe and Harwich in front of us, and then this is the Tendring Peninsula. Now, I mean, because it's going to be relatively cheaper to fly this way, you probably would only take yours out if you were really going somewhere and doing something, wouldn't you?
Yeah, most of the time.
Whereas with this, I might say, well, it's a lovely evening, I'll go for a bimble. Some people would say that's not for them, but actually it's just nice to be here sometimes and look around. So I don't know whether you want to go across and have a look at Harwich and Felixstowe, or whether you want to turn around and
It's entirely up to you.
see what Nayland's like.
I'm just happy to be here and having a day out, really.
So you're happy to have a bimble?
Yeah. It's lovely flying at this time of year, isn't it, when it's like this?
Oh, great, yeah.
Just so smooth. And I'm going to lean back and get the Echo Hotel. What did we decide to call it? Something which?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I can show Bertie.
Yeah.
What do we call it? The Echo Hotel. Something which. I forget what I decided to call it.
I've got another one for it, but that hasn't gone out yet at the moment.
Tim regularly comments on my videos, and especially when Bertie's been flying with me.
I always think it's nice to give the children a focus.
Yeah.
I discovered another Sky Demon feature when we went to Western last week, because it now throws up a circuit pattern, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And that's quite interesting, and especially to Western, which has got some angled approaches, hasn't it?
I've not been there.
Yeah. It's well worth it. I mean, they've got a brand new control tower and cafe.
Yeah, I've seen pictures.
Yeah, very nice.
I find it difficult sometimes when places have some very convoluted patterns, noise abatements.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I will try and avoid going there if I think it's going to be hard work.
Yeah.
Because you've got enough to think about.
You've got the stretch of river that's quite famous between Blatford Mill and Dedham, which is the Constable Valley. And then we'll go for the hill.
Should we do that?
Yeah. We can have another little jolly on the way out if you'd like to, but it's all about the hill.
These fly-ins that you do all round, you went to, is it Diest?
Yeah, Diest, yeah.
Diest, and is that in Belgium?
Diest is in Belgium, right over on the towards the Belgium, towards the Dutch. I get it right. Towards the German border. I mean, the interesting thing about that is I tried to make a big thing, because it is quite a challenge. You have to fly through that very tight corridor between Brussels and Antwerp, and it is very, very tight.
Yeah.
And the big problem is it channels all VFR flights through there. We did Morcel in Belgium for the first time this year. The Amiens one was really good. Apparently they do one of these light shows where they light at 10 o'clock of the night time. They project things onto the front of the cathedral. Apparently that's supposed to be really, really good. But you'll have probably picked up that Santa Mare is our favourite. We're treated in a very special way there. It's nothing to do with me. It's John's been going there for a long, long time. But they're always pleased to see us, and of course it's no real distance. And I would definitely say that a lot of people, when they're travelling into France, tend to go through Le Touquet.
Yeah.
But I would say that nowadays they've changed Calais considerably.
Yeah.
At one stage it was there was no control and they closed on a Sunday. Then it became French speaking only. But it's Luke, who's the manager there, has just gone public with the fact that they've employed a new controller called Jerome, who is an English speaker, and therefore they're wanting people to come back in and use it, and they're only charging €9 for a landing fee.
Great. Yeah. The 2K can get crazy at the weekends.
Give the helicopter a little bit of a...
Oh, yeah. Well spotted.
Stoke-on-Nayland Church, I mentioned earlier when we were coming out of Earl's Cone, is there. I remember flying my grandfather's cousin on her 90th birthday in the Nord that we had, and it was like walking on eggshells. I was very frail, very little lady. I was just being very, very careful and very straight and everything, and we went over the top of that, and her father was a clergyman. We went over the top, and she said, "Could you tip it up a bit?" Okay, so you've got Nayland coming up this side. I do like this time of year, not only because of the temperatures and everything, but I do love autumn colours.
Doesn't look so bad from here.
When we came back from Tour Western, I took a photograph in the evening shadows, and it actually made the strip look very, very different.
Nayland traffic, Golf Alpha Yankee Echo Hotel is approaching the overhead, Nayland traffic.
But depending on where the wind's from, the curl over,
Yeah.
you've got some idea of how it is, but as I say, every single flight, every landing is a bit different. Wormingford, it's nothing happening today, but Wormingford, the gliding field is fairly busy usually at the weekends. It's funny, it's only sort of 1:45, but you get that feel that it's sort of
Much
afternoonish,
later.
isn't it?
Sun's low, isn't it?
Yeah.
Got a 1 mile final.
Nayland traffic, Golf Echo Hotel downwind, Nayland traffic.
Couldn't have a little play with that camera, could you? Because it seems to have switched itself off. Thank you very much.
And he's just up down.
Yep. On S&K, hatch is okay.
Yep.
Clear on the approach, yep. Just in case you got somebody coming in from a long way away without talking to us. So how's it looking to you at the moment?
So you look a bit low, but
Yeah, but I mean, as a sort of
as a yeah, I mean,
as a strip.
you can see it, see the incline now. And those trees, as you say, are a bit of a problem, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, we used to be able to sort of come really low and just jump over the hedge, but that doesn't happen now. Okay, air brakes coming down. Might actually have been a bit soon. The basis that we don't very often land with a headwind. Bit of a sink.
Brilliant.
The hill. And then what I'll do is I just line you up on the hangar, because you'll notice that in the distance there's a dot and 2 lines.
Yeah.
That's my hangar. What you have to do is you have to push in, lining the wheels up with the lines, the spinner up with the dot, and then you've just got enough room to get in. But anyway, how do you feel about that?
That's good. Quite gnarly, isn't it, coming there?
It has its moments. Don't know quite what happened, but something happened to that one.
Battery,
I imagine.
Hey ho!
Brilliant.
That was good.
Time for a cup of tea
I think so.
or coffee or whatever you prefer.
In the gargles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only machine that we know that makes that sort of noise.
That's hilarious.
Of course, when we get turned round, you'll see what I mean about where's the strip gone.
Yeah. So is it a bit of a cliff edge moment when you reach the edge to the...
No, not really. I mean, generally speaking, most of the time, the hill falls away and we keep straight. But it doesn't always happen. Sometimes you take off before, and sometimes you run down the hill. We're fairly light fuel-wise. The wind's not too bad, but it's sort of a tailwind. You happy?
Yep. That was quite cliff edge. That's crazy.
But you know, have you seen the clump of trees ahead that I was aiming for?